Yesterday I was in Teaneck, New Jersey at St. Paul's Lutheran Church, helping a friend with a play. It was music, and not realizing that there was a transgender day of remembrance happening one floor above until I then realized it. And then I read this poem at that event. And up came another reader to share a story, and she's sitting here, Jamie, to share a story about her transgender daughter, Rebecca. Very powerful story. So I asked her if she could come here today. And then I asked Judy and Scott, and they said yes. And she said she could make it. She moved around her child care. And so I have the pleasure of introducing to you Jamie Breezehoff.
Breezehoff. Yep, it was close.
Okay, so you're going to come up and...
I have to admit that I feel like I have no right to be standing here in front of you. I'm a cisgender, straight, white woman. And I'm deeply aware of the privilege inherent in that identity. But I also know my daughter doesn't have that privilege. She's 9 years old, and she's transgender. She's been living as herself out in the world for about 1.5 years now. She was always what they call gender non-conforming. She gravitated to typically girl things. At 3 years old, she was given the role of a bird in the preschool play. So she wants to be a pink bird. So we went with it. We made a fuchsia bird costume. We dyed her hair pink. Oh, she was thrilled. We went all out. Well, you should have seen my husband and I's faces as we sat in the pews of the church where the preschool play was happening. And we realized that when they meant bird, they meant seagull. And my bright pink boy stood next to the gray and white little birds next to him. But really, that fit her perfectly. Over the years, her gender nonconformity intensified, and so did her anxiety. She was trying to find herself in the world and make sense of where she fit. We constantly said, colors are for everyone, clothes are for everyone, you can be any kind of boy you want to be. But she wasn't a boy. Some kids are born with that understanding. They say as soon as they can talk, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. If she had that language, she didn't share it with us. But she certainly knew something was different about her. The anxiety hit a peak and brought its friend depression along for the ride. Suddenly, I was faced with a 7-year-old child who wanted to die. A 7-year-old child who tried to run into oncoming traffic just so that she could be hit by a car. A 7-year-old child who punched the screen out of her second-story window and tried to jump out. I've never been more scared in my life. Over the months that followed, we were able to pull her back from that window ledge. With counseling, nutritional therapy, the support of excellent practitioners and friends and family, we got her far enough from that ledge so that she was able to unpack her identity. The day she learned the word transgender and what it meant, relief washed over her. Oh, maybe that's what I am, she said, and her journey unfurled from there. She is now a vibrant, healthy, happy 9-year-old girl. She excels at school, has good friends, loves art, dance, and musical theater. The difference in her is clear to everyone. My husband's a pastor, so we're active in our church. And we've had church members approach him and say, if I didn't understand before, how can I not now? She used to hide behind your wife. She used to not answer me when I said hello. Today, she ran up to me, twirled around in her dress, and gave me a high five. It's not to say it's all peachy and perfect. Yes, in a million ways, she's a girl like any other. In fact, when she tries to tell people at school, her friends, that she's transgender, they don't believe her. They just see her as a girl. She's Rebecca, their friend. that's wonderful and rich. But there's something else there. She is transgender. It's an important part of who she is for her. It's not the only part, but it's a part. We recently went to a conference for trans and gender non-conforming children, youth, and their families. On our way there, she said from the back seat, "It's going to be so nice to not walk around with a huge weight on my shoulders." It felt like I got the wind knocked out of me. My fourth grader shouldn't be walking around like she has a huge weight on her shoulders. So I asked her, what weight? It's the weight of feeling like she has to hide who she is. Like she's got this big secret that no one knows about. Like if she does try to tell people, they won't understand or believe her. It's a blessing that she can go about her everyday life just as Rebecca, without having the capital T of transgender follow her everywhere. But at the same time, secrets can quickly feel like shame. And despite her family and friends' continued love and acceptance, my 9-year-old is walking around every day trying to navigate all that in her head and her heart. And she knows, despite us trying to protect her, that the world can be a scary place for people like her. She knows not every kid has the support she has, and she knows not every kid makes it back from that window ledge the way she did. And despite our best efforts to keep the hate out of our home, she went to bed on election night scared. She was scared because she knows deep in her gut that as a transgender girl, as a member of the LGBTQ community, her rights and safety, and the rights and safety of so many like her, are at stake. She knows it the same way she knows that someday one of her friends will find out she's transgender and not want to be her friend anymore. And if it's not them, it could be their parents, her neighbors, church members, teachers, or strangers. She knows that just because she is who she is, there are people who believe she is a danger to their families and communities. She knows that just by going to the bathroom in a girl's room like her friends do, that it's nothing short of a revolutionary act, and that there are people trying to take that right from her. None of that changes who she is. In the face of all these things and more, she knows this is who she is, and she refuses to betray herself, to make others feel more comfortable, to make less waves, or to make life easier for herself. Her bravery and authenticity leave me speechless daily. So today, as we gather to mourn those we have lost this year, and to gather around those who have experienced and continue to experience violence of all kinds because of their gender identity, I'm actually filled with gratitude and hope. Yes, the world is filled with fear and sadness right now. I know, I feel it too. I ache with this community. I weep for those we've lost, and I'm enraged by the discrimination faced daily. And I'm scared. I'm scared for my kid and every person like her. But I know these three things to be true. First, Rebecca is only able to be who she is, to live a life where joy, love, and acceptance greatly overpower fear and uncertainty, because of the transgender people who bravely came before her, who lived their truth despite the violence they faced, who fought for their rights and against discrimination. The progress made has been hard fought, and I know we're scared we're going to lose ground, but we've made it this far and we're not about to stop fighting. Second, every bit of progress reminds us just how fierce this community is. Transgender people show us they are strong, determined, committed, brave, and resilient just by living an authentic life when everything about our society has told them not to. It's that profound strength that awes and inspires me. And third, the strength and authenticity of this community awes and inspires far more than just me. The support is rising. In the face of our current political climate, people are realizing that they need to stand up, they need to speak out, and they need to take action. We are not alone. You are not alone. You are seen, you are loved, and you matter. And I speak for a large and growing community of parents of trans kids when I say, we are ready to fight for and with you. We will stand against hate, bigotry, and ignorance. We will demand better for this community and this country. And we will tell our stories, because our stories are bridges to understanding, empathy, love, and grace. We will not back down. And as I tell my kids, we will be braver and kinder than we ever have been before. While the hatred in this country feels more amplified than ever, I know the love is stronger than ever. And the voices of love just need to rise up to be louder than that hate. And that's exactly what we're doing.
How lucky are we to hear your story, Jamie, your family's story, and as I'm sure you feel, Rebecca is a gift to you. You and your husband are so much a gift to her. So thank you so much for being here with us.